What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Matthew's Movies, here to talk about the three-headed monster of horror. That's what I like to call it. Jordan Peele, Ari Aster, and Robert Eggers. Okay, such a fan of all of these guys. They all have two films under their belt, all classics to me, honestly, all top-tier horror cinema. And I really think they're paving the way for obviously for the next horror movies to come out, the next horror directors, and I think they do it. The thing that's different between what's different about these guys is they're doing it a little different, um, rather than the corny horror films or the shitty acted. I think they're getting like real stars to star in these horrors because their scripts are so good, their direction style is so good. They're getting like top notch actors, which I love. You have Tony Collette in Hereditary, you have Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse. You have freaking just everyone is just so good in all of these movies. The performances are really some of the best in horror like history, and that's what I love about these three guys. Is they know how to find a good script, write a good script, and pick the right actors for these kind of movies. Let's get into it. So I will be ranking all of their films. So there's 6 total films. They all have 2 under their belt. Go in last place. I got The Witch. Okay, this is the earliest film out of all 6 of these made. It was made in 2015. I really enjoyed Anna Joy Taylor in this movie. She's an incredible young actress, but this one does not stick to me. This is not one I kind of want to go back and watch, and this just shows why it's last in my ranking. Number 5, we have Us by Jordan Peele, and this is not a bad thing at all because I love this movie. This is honestly a top 10 horror film for me already, but the next 4 are just you know how it goes. The next 4 are just classics. Number 4, we have The Lighthouse. Oh, I forgot to mention. Go Lakers. LeBron's got his 4th fucking ring. Let's get it. Anyways, number 4, I'm going The Lighthouse. This movie's incredible, and I know it seems low, but also like I said, the pacing of Robert Eggers' films still aren't there for me. They still have a lot of depth, but the performances in all his films are just so incredible. Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe should have got an Oscar nomination. Even Robert Pattinson should have got something. It was just so great seeing them on screen, but the horror doesn't stick for me, and the pacing is a problem for me. Coming in at number 3, we have Midsummer. Okay, just one of I think it's the most beautifully directed horror film ever. Florence Pugh gives the performance of her life, and this movie, it sticks with people. It's weird because I don't enjoy it as much as many other people do, but I do think it has got so much more popular as the years have gone by. This last year, and I think it just sticks with people. There's something weird about it, and a buddy hit me the other day and told me he finally watched it, and many people came to me and told me they've watched it after I praised it so much, and just said, "What the fuck just happened?" And I think that really sticks with people, and I think this would be a lot higher on other people's list. Number 2, Get Out, which I think is the godfather of this new horror thriller wave. This is obviously the least amount of horror, but I still count it as a horror still. This changed the game. It came out in 2016, and I think horror had to be done different, and that's why I think the Midsummers and The Lighthouse comes into hand, because it just changed this game. Just these mind games, the writing, the performances, it's all just top tier. And to me, one of the best plot twists in modern cinema. Like, it was just, I couldn't believe it. It was just amazing. And number 1, Hereditary. I wouldn't buy a $60 screenplay if it wasn't number 1. This movie, the more you rewatch it, it just gets better. Toni Collette gives the performance of her life, and it really feels so authentic. It feels like authentic horror, and I think we saw things in this movie that we've never seen before in horror. The detail of this film, the way shit is scary when you don't know it's scary yet, the way it's just in the background, and a lot of films do that, but this just hit a little different. When there's these 2 shots in that film, there's one where Alex Wolff's on his bed. He had just woken up, and it didn't even hit me till I noticed. Sorry, I'm in the gulag. 1 sec. It didn't even hit me till I noticed that. Get shit on. It didn't even hit me until my buddy pointed out. He said, "Look at the left corner." And he, like, Ari Aster, like, low-key doesn't want you to see it. But once you see it, goodness gracious, it is a masterpiece. And the fact that when I got the screenplay book, Bong Joon-ho did a foreword on it. You know, a freaking 3-time Oscar winner last year. And he's talking about this film. A film that was an independent A24 film. It was just, it made me just appreciate it so much more. And every aspect is scary. I think this is one of the most raw, authentic horrors to where you don't need jump scares to scare you. I think this did it the most for me, and it is a classic. It is in my top 10 films of all time. It's just, it's all, for a horror fan and for a cinema fan, it's all you could ask for. I think it's all you could ask for, really. That was my list. I apologize to my Robert Eggers fans. I'm still a young man. I'm still getting into films here and there, so I feel like his are a little too deep for me, which happens a lot, you know what I mean? And just the pacing is a big issue for me in Robert Eggers films, but he's still a god nonetheless. But that is my ranking. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all you guys sticking with me, supporting, talking to me in my comments and my stories. You guys are the best. I love all my friends that I've made on here. Peace out.